Hey, podcast time, everybody. Oh my gosh. Guys, happy Friday. What a week it has been. My gosh, I have a bit to catch you guys up on, but I probably won't be able to do much on account that once again, what is this? The third sickness since starting this podcast? It's only 22-ish weeks. It's what? I guess if we round it up to 24, that would be 4, 8, 5 months. At least 3 sicknesses in 5 months, if not 4. It might have been 4. But my gosh, I'm getting sick of being sick, guys. It's not even a bad cold. It's not even that bad of a cold. It's in my head. It's in my head. I don't want to deal with it. That's the thing, right? I don't want to have it around. It's annoying. It's bugging me. It slows me down, makes me not be able to work on stuff. Makes me have a hard time getting my breath. I'm trying to finish up the yard, which I'm behind at. I'm behind on everything. Do normal people are they just better at doing stuff, or do they not care? It's gotta be that they don't care. Because there's no way that you just freaking can do fine with the way normal people they do. I don't know. That's the thing, right? I feel like I'm just I feel like I just hold myself up to an impossible standard. But what else is new? So yeah, I am back home once again. Thank goodness. It is good to be home. Although I have to admit, not excited about getting back to work. But hey, you know what? This gives me more motivation to work on music. Because if I work on the business side of music, maybe I'll be able to do that for a living someday soon. And if not, at least I'm getting stuff done, if nothing else. You know what I mean? Like, even if none of this stuff works out, at least I'm doing it. So that way when I'm 60 and I'm dead, it's just like, well, at least I made the best of what I had. Right? Anyway, hope you guys are all doing well. I am, like I said, a bit under the weather, so this may be a shorter podcast episode, but I just wanted to check in. I wanted to do an episode, because gosh dang it, it's about time that I checked in. So, yeah. Overall, update on the trip. As I mentioned last week, we had to go back for a funeral. Sad times. Yeah. It was still good to see family though, and I don't know. I feel like because I had such low expectations. I feel like it was better than it could have been. It was good to see my grandma, the only grandma that I have left around. She was glad to see me, and she thought my hair was looking cool. She thought it looked really nice, which it made me happy because, like, you know, when you have someone that's traditional like that, it's not very often that they're like, you know, well, that new thing you're doing. That unusual thing you're doing looks good. But I think because of how I'm doing it, it's very curly. It's not like flat and greasy and just laying down all over the place. It's Jana's been holding me accountable, and I have been learning how to take care of longer hair. And it's not as easy as you might think it is. I think the hardest part is just how much of it sheds when you're in the shower. And you can't let that shit go down the drain. You know how bad that is to clean out? It's awful. All you people out there, don't just let your hair go down the drain. Someone's going to have to deal with that. Fucking pick up after yourself. That way somebody doesn't have to later. It's not that hard. What I've been trying to do is, like, before shower, brush my hair out. And then I get it all out in the hairbrush that way. And then I clean the hairbrush out because otherwise your hairbrush is going to be full of hair. But with that, I can get it out while it's dry. And just, you know, then I don't have to worry about in the shower, just hair falling out. Because you shed a lot of hair. You shed a lot of hair naturally. Of course, you know, I've never been able to see myself losing hair because it's always been short before. So then I'm just like, wait, am I balding? Do I need to be worrying about this yet? Or I don't know. The thing about it is most of my family doesn't have like hair loss as a problem. So I'm not like worried about it. Like my dad still has his hair, and so did my grandpa on my mom's side. So I'm not too worried about it. But you just I don't know why hair loss. Why is hair loss in men so much more prevalent? Is it because we don't take care of our hair? Is that the problem? And why is it that it's so hard to learn how to take care of yourself as a man? Like, I never learned how to take care of my hair. I just, use that 3-in-1 body wash. It's shampoo, conditioner, and body wash all in one. And then you got those 8-in-1. That 8-in-1 garbage. And then you find out, this is actually all terrible for you. In fact, most of the things you get at the store are terrible for you. You gotta, find the good stuff. And you gotta find what works specifically with your kind of hair and in your climate. Because depending on how humid it is and how you react to it, gosh, humans are just so convoluted. I don't want to say complicated, because that gives us more credit than we deserve. We're not complicated. We're just annoyingly convoluted. It's just so deep. No, there's nothing deep about humans. We are stupid, dumb monkeys. We do not deserve to live. I will be frank about this, guys. Oh my God. I keep thinking I'm gonna get over it. I'm just gonna. I was talking to Joe, because he's the only one that I can have conversations about these things without, losing face. But it's just I'm losing my patience with people, because what do you know? Here we are with already several variants of COVID, and 4 major ones. One that is like we were afraid of, far more quite a bit more contagious than the main version that we had before, back at the beginning of 2020. And what do you know? That's exactly what the scientists said would happen. But here you have all these people that are just those scientists just don't know what they're talking about. They keep changing their minds. What's going on? It's well, if you'd actually listen, you'd know. But no, you got your heads up your butts. I'm just watching your pundits thinking, why are these Fox News guys? They know what they're talking about. It's my gosh, how did that become a thing? Then again, I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, freaking religious people have been trying to go against science ever since Galileo. So, it's just people don't want to be inconvenienced is the thing. And that's what frustrates me. It's just here's the bottom line, which I don't get, is just what do you know? We're gonna see a lot more people die from this that refuse to listen to science. We're gonna still see people on both sides of the aisle. There are gonna be innocent people that just either couldn't get vaccinated or got vaccinated, and still, because it isn't 100%, because nothing is, but still they caught it and died. But nonetheless, a majority of people that die from this in the future are going to be right wing, which means come 2024 we don't have to worry about Trump. So woohoo. That's one way to skin a turkey. Oh my gosh. All right, Vinny, focus, buddy, focus. Moving right along. So yeah, trip was fine. Had to drive back because there was not enough notice to get a flight, especially with how flights are coming out of Rapid, because we are in a place that, what is it, a regional airport. So you gotta fly to one of those airports that you can then fly to more locations from. It's annoying, but nonetheless, yeah, we drove back. Freaking took 18 hours once you count all the stops, and we made it all in one go going there. But on the way back, we ended up stopping most of the way through. It was we had 5 hours left, but I was beat. It was past midnight, and honestly, I was not doing that well because I was coming down with that cold. Not exciting, but unfortunately that meant that I had to take another day off work, which was not part of my original plan. My original plan was to take 2 days off work. I had to take 3 off instead. So yeah, we're a little bit behind and a little bit stressed out. But you know how it goes. It's so difficult trying to balance money, especially with all you want to do and need to do. And I am not I'm not like super organized. It's hard to get organized because like my brain doesn't work with those exacts. Like you always read those books and they're like, get your budget down to the penny, and it's just like, are you crazy? Get your budget well below. That way you're spending less than what you're making, and then put the rest in savings or something. Don't have like specific amounts and like do that every month. You know how insane that is. But then again, it works for a lot of people. So at the end of the day, just find what works for you. You don't have to listen to the same guru that I or anyone else does. You don't have to listen to that dumbass. What's his name? What is his name? Freaking Dave Ramsey. Don't take out loans. Don't go out to eat if you're in debt. Just work all the time. That minimum wage job will pay your debt off eventually. It mostly just ticks me off because I hate seeing someone like that make their money, like make a living off of telling people that don't make hardly anything how to not spend money that they don't have. It's like, wow, you're a friggin' genius, dude. What do you know? All we had to do was just not spend money and everything would be fine. It's like there are certainly habits you can learn to not spend money, but gosh dang it. If you're going to make bank making a book and charging people for an online class on how to not spend money, here's a money tip. Don't buy Dave Ramsey's book. You'll save yourself $40 or some shit. I don't fucking know how much his book is. It's probably more like 20, and people are going to rip on me and be like, oh, you think it's that expensive? That's because you're a stupid liberal. It's like, whatever. All right. Okay. What the hey? Is this real? Sorry, I just opened this thing and Chris Pratt is playing Mario? It's probably the voice, right? Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. And Charlie Day Luigi. Okay. Anya Taylor-Joy is Peach. You don't recognize her. Keegan-Michael Key is Toad. Why? Why? Jack Black is Bowser. Oh, that's incredible. Is this all real? Is that real? That is crazy. Oh, my gosh. Fun times. All right, anyway, moving right along, dudes, moving right along. Yeah, what else do I even have to update about? I am slowly getting more behind on working on the EP album for this December. So, yeah, if I don't end up finishing it, it's because I suck. But nonetheless, I'm hoping for the best. I've got plenty of time if I just get my ass in gear and get this shit done. But I suck, and I can't stay focused, and I can't make decisions. Oh my gosh. I am frustrated with myself today. I don't know why, because like considering all that's been going on, I'm doing pretty well. I've done pretty well. But it's never good enough. Never good enough for yourself. You are your own worst critic, right? Like that's why like when people say shit online, like, oh, it's like none of that's gonna faze me, because like, yeah, I've thought of much worse myself. Don't worry. Once you come to grips with your own self-hatred, then everyone else's hatred isn't that surprising. I think the only time it hits you is just like when you're like, they know, because you already have this imposter syndrome. So then as soon as somebody's just like, you're not that good, what are you doing releasing music? You're just like, oh no, they know. Yeah. But the reality is, most of those people don't know what good music is either, or good anything is. They just have this weird need to critique. And honestly, you need those kind of people. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine how many terrible comics there would be if there weren't hecklers making sure that these god-awful comics didn't succeed? We gotta, hecklers are the lifeline. They are the people making sure the comedy line stays clean and that right-wing broadcasters are in supply. Because otherwise, all these guys would succeed at comedians and wouldn't start their own show on Fox News. It's unfunny. unfunny guys that have no jokes. I do not understand why people find some of those folks funny. It's just like, there's never a joke, right? Like, it's not about being offensive. It's about there not being a joke. Like, wow, you put on blackface and talk in an accent. You're I'm not gonna lie. It's like there's just no joke there. That's all there is to it. It's kind of like those guys who do gay voice. You can't just do gay voice and think that we're all gonna just laugh at you. It's not that it's not just that it's offensive. Oh, excuse me. It's not just that it's offensive. It's not funny because that's not a joke. There's no joke there. Like, I think that's why like black comedians and gay comedians are hilarious because they actually have to work for their jokes. They can't just put on their own voice and it'd be funny. That and like I think that people who are have more difficult lives tend to look for the funnier side in things and be better at that versus people that have it all. What is there to laugh about? Where do you get your funny from? I get mine from my childhood trauma. You don't get into comedy if everything's going good for you. But I think that's why I enjoy comedy too. And I think that's why I'm afraid for some of this younger generation. Don't get me wrong. They'll figure it out. It'll be okay. But like, I don't know. I'm afraid that like if people have it too well, there's just gonna be a certain group in this new generation that are just gonna not get comedy and think it's just about being offensive. And so then you're gonna have two groups of that. You're gonna have those that say comedy is bad, cancel all these comics, and then you're gonna have the people that are trying to be comics and are just being offensive the whole time. And then they'll fail, and then we'll have more right-wing pundits. Yay! Fox News will have plenty of people to do shows on it. And no one will care because they won't understand comedy because they're too busy being dumb. Oh my gosh. Vinnie, you need to rip on CNN too. It's like, CNN doesn't even have funny people on there. I don't even watch any news, period, honestly. There was news on, like local news, on at the electrical supply store one morning, and there was a guy there just complaining about every little thing. Like, that girl looks like she's smoking weed. And it's like, oh, look at you. Look at you. I suppose that guy, just every single person he sees that he doesn't like how they are acting, it's just like, that person must be on weed. It's like, no, maybe they're just anxious about being interviewed on camera. And of course, that's the people they're going to show because they never find, like when they have young people that are protesting something, they never find a good spokesman. They just find somebody who looks young enough that they don't know what they're doing. That way they can make a story out of it and get people thinking. Because if they had somebody who like had a well thought out argument, to be like, here's why we think Kristi Noem's new education, where they take out the massacre of Indians, is bad. Here's why we need to learn about history on both sides, so that we don't think that shit's okay. So we don't think that we're all good and that they have no reason to be upset. It's like, my gosh. Why are white people like this? They're just oh my gosh. You know what I love? I love when those like right-wing white guys just like when they get up there in high school, all of a sudden decide they want to be cowboys. It's like, dude, most cowboys were either black or Mexican, so you're a little lost here. But then again, they don't want to be cowboys, right? They just want to be ranchers. Those are the guys that get all the money. Anyway, focus, buddy, focus. Stop ripping on everybody. You could do this. I'm sorry. It's just, when I go back visiting home, there's always all this talk. He's like, just like the mother-in-law talking about vaccines and how he's like, there's one people we found, they have these contacts that if you contact them, they can get, if you want to get whoever is in the vaccine out of you, they can do it. It's like, sure they can. It's like, do these people just not do a little bit of research on how mRNA vaccines work. It's not that complicated. I mean, it's complicated, but like on a base level, not that bad. It's like whatever's in the vaccine gets out of you pretty quick, like within a few days. And what you're left with is the antibodies, to fight this disease, or not even to fight the disease. It's literally just attacks the amino acid structure of the coronavirus cells, so that they can't take any hold. Just rips them right out of there. It's just now we got to worry about new variants that are going to have a different kind of structure to their cells. I'm getting in over my head. But bottom line is, when I have to listen to that and just be like, you could do this, Vinnie. You could do it. You can do it. Just be good. Just don't think about it. Don't think about it, Vinnie. Maybe you can make a few snide comments here and there, as long as they're disguised enough so no one picks up on them for a few days, till you're well out of there. Oh, fuck me. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I got to move on to recommendations, because I am killing myself. Also, I forgot recommendations last week because I was in a hurry. But we're doing them again this week. Whoa, recommendations. Yay. All right. So for I haven't watched much recently. For a movie, I'm gonna recommend Kingsman, the first what's it called? The first Kingsman movie, The Secret Service. I rewatched it recently because I was bored, and I gotta say, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. It was a fun time. Fun times were had by me. It's a it's a good time. What should I recommend? Shucks. For music, am I really gonna recommend another Ben Folds album? Is there anything else that's been recently played? What have I discovered recently? There's only one album that I started listening to, and that's Way to Normal by Ben Folds. It's a good album. It's his 2008 album. I don't know. It's a good, maybe not the best Ben Folds to start with if you haven't listened to his other music before, but if you're a Ben Folds head like me, go into it, why don't you? I might as well recommend another album, or maybe I should recommend a podcast. Any good podcasts I've been listening to? That's a great question. Anything that I haven't recommended already? Oh, here's a great one. It's called The Downside with Gianmarco Soresi. It's probably very difficult to pronounce, but if you just look up The Downside on wherever you get your podcasts, you'll recognize it. It's a comedy podcast. It's really funny. He has guests on there that are comedians and talks about the downside of their lives. Everyone's focusing on positivity. Nice to see somebody focusing on negativity for once. Am I right? Finally, somebody focusing on the downside of life. Always look on the downside of life. All right. So, guys, my throat is acting up and getting dry. So I'm going to go drink some water. And I'm going to take a little bit of medicine to clear out my sinuses. Thank God for DayQuil, because gosh dang it, I would not survive some of these things. I hate how like that whole subsidies were just like, ever since I was young, I had no idea these things were options. But now that I'm like having to work, it's so nice to have like these medicines that will get rid of stuff. I'm sure it's not the healthiest for you, but gosh dang it, I don't get sick that often typically, although I have recently. It's kind of annoying, but point is, this makes me still be able to function during it, because I have to. I can't rest. I can't rest while doing stuff because I gotta make money. If you want me to stop taking these medicines, maybe you should stop supporting the patriarchy where I've gotta go to work every goddamn day. Fucking put up with this bullshit. Fuck that shit. All right. As always, guys, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Fridays with Vinnie. I'll be back next week with hopefully a longer episode. If you have anything you'd like me to discuss, any topics, questions, comments, concerns, whatever, you can leave them to me literally anywhere. Facebook, Twitter, or you just leave a comment down below. Or if you want to leave a longer message, you can email me at contact@vinniehard.com or use the form that's on vinniehard.com, the website. All right. That's a pretty long paragraph for trying to explain you guys how you can ask questions and shit. Fucking do that fucking bullshit. Oh my god. All right. I don't feel great, so I'm gonna call this a Friday. Thank you guys as always. I love you. Love yourselves. And I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.